would so have loved to come to Tel Aviv. I've never been in Israel, and I was so much pressing my thumbs that the situation will change. But yeah, anyways, now.
Yeah, I remember that I invited you
yes.
when we met in the
yes.
Berlinale.
Yes, exactly. And I was so much like, that would have been so exciting, but yeah.
I hope in the future, I hope we could do it in the future. It will be an honor to show Cocoon on a big screen, because it's one of the most visually beautiful movies I saw in this year. And you know what? If I'm starting to talk about visual, maybe I will jump to one of the questions I wanted to ask in the end. I know that the budget was very, very modest, but the movie is look so beautiful. It's look like $1 million movie.
Wow.
How you succeed to do it? You know, I was to work to write the shooting script, to work with the DP to create such it's a beautiful, very unique vision. There is the nature look and the urban look, and everything look so good and so precise and beautiful, and in the same time very realistic too. Mm-hmm. It's like it's two genres in one movie, visually, in the style, you know. How you create it?
Yeah, so that's a compliment also on the DOP, Martin Neumeier, who was able to do very much with very little. So he bought this very old lenses and used certain filters that we had this very special look, and that it looked like shooting on film and not digital. And then also he scanned a negative and would put the grade on the on the digital material, so it would even more look like a film. So that was very, very great that he was able to do that. And the concept of the visual style is exactly what you said, actually, because I hope to achieve something which is realistic, but also is a bit surreal, because I always thought that the film should feel like a memory, because this is the summer Nora will always remember. And so I hope that we could have this sometimes documentary elements that we put inside the film, because we had a lot of documentary elements, also with shooting with actors who are living directly in the house where we shot and stuff. So having this real world, but then changing it a bit to something a bit surreal, with the visual style, to achieve then this effect that you feel like you saw something that maybe has been in the past, so that's.
Yeah, and I think one of the most realistic thing in the movie is the group of the young actors.
Yeah.
Because, there is a lot of teenage movies and they are together, and you all the time feel they are not really friends. They don't care. It's actors that playing friends. But over there, when I watch the movie, they know each other. They care about each other. They dislike each other, but they are friends. You really feel the chemistry. It's so real, and everyone arriving from totally different background. Mm-hmm. How you created this really special intimacy between so many boys, girls together. After it, we will talk about the girls, the actresses that are brilliant. But, it's such an hard work. I'm a filmmaker too, and my biggest mistake was my second feature that I had a lot of actors, and I failed totally, and you succeeded amazingly. How you did it,
Yeah, thank you. What was very important to me is to like we like the main cast, the girls. They all have been young actors with a lot of experience, but I wanted to have also people who are living directly in the house in the world that I portray. So like all the boys are really living in the house or in the area, and we street casted them, and then like we found like I found them very talented, so I had like the belief that it would be possible to make this film with them. And then it was a thing of having a long process of rehearsing, like because what you said is exactly what I wanted to create, that it really feels that they know each other since a long time. So we spent a lot of time rehearsing, and also so that the actors with more experience and the actors that never acted before could have like, you know, one style how they act in the scene. And that was working very well, not from the first day on, but you know, like after the work of rehearsal, it worked very well. And also, like, for example, all the web music that is in the film, it's really them, it's their lyrics, they wrote the music, they wrote everything. So that was very valuable for me, that I'm not just like from the outside looking at them, but having like influences from the young people really living in this area, and like in that different generation. Yeah.
So they are all living in the area of Côte Bassotour?
Yeah, the boys. The girls, they are all from Berlin, and like some are from Kreuzberg, the area where we shoot, but the boys are almost everyone from directly from there. Some even lived in the house where we shot. So yeah, that was exciting for me.
Côte Bassotour, it's not only the background of the movie. I visit a lot in Berlin, and one of my favorite areas, you know, because of the gay bars and the queer bars, it's Côte Bassotour, of course.
Yes.
And of course, Movimento Kino, and Babylon the other side. So it's like the area that I hang out when I'm in Berlin. So I was so happy to see a Berlin movie that it's about Côte Bassotour, and Côte Bassotour, it's like it's kind of a hero. It's not on a background. It's kind of an hero in this movie, because I think without this area, the story will be much more hard to tell.
Yeah. It was very, I must say, I grew up in Berlin, and I didn't grow up directly there, but but pretty close. And I was like in Prinzenbad, like the local swimming pool, which is at Côte Bassotour. I kind of spent my whole youth there. So that was the point that was important to me, that I know what I'm talking about. And I found this area so interesting because it is like, you know, everyone knows it, because it's like, it's a high crime scene. There are even people who like don't go there, like if they have to change the train there, for example, they would always take another way to go somewhere, because they don't want to be there, because it's known as such a like dangerous area. But in the same time, as you said, like it's such a multicultural place with like so many, like very vibrant, with so much gay bars and like big queer culture, and but then also like a lot of Turkish Arabic people. And so I think it's like a beautiful spot, because it's so, you know, everyone's living together, and like all this like everyone's so different from each other, but somehow, you know, it's a great world. And that was my that was, so I really wanted to shoot there. And I'm also getting very emotional about that area because it means a lot to me.
I'm a little bit surprised. I never felt in danger in this area, you know.
Ah, cool. That's great. Yeah,
I,
me
I
neither. But I mean, so yeah, 2 times I got robbed, but
okay. Oh.
but that was just one was even like I was running behind that guy. He had my mobile and I was screaming at him. And then he was like, okay, you got it back here. So, you know, it's not dangerous people. It's just like they just rob you, but they would never, they don't do something to you. So, yeah. Oh, now you're gone.
Yeah, it was it was disturbed. The internet, it's a little bit I guess making us problems. But
yeah, but you're back now. So
yes, we are back. Yeah, I add this. I want to open with this statement, you know, what I feel about the movie, what I think is about the movie. So I will do it now because we only just. So for me, Cocoon is a film about finding yourself, finding your emotions, finding your body, and what make it an extraordinary youth film is your own view as a filmmaker. There are lots of movies about grown-ups, but you manage to tell the story from your own unique perspective and vision, and it's very queer and very intimate. And I want to ask, when you wrote the script, how do you approach to the story and to the female characters who in my eyes are having so many layers? You know, there is, when you're going to in script writing, they all the time telling you, describe the character in one sentence. And I can't describe this character in one sentence because there are so many layers and you build them so good. And so I want to ask you, how you worked with the actresses to build such deep, interesting human beings in the movie, you know?
I think all like what we did, I can say it as the example, like the work with the main actress, Lena Otzendowski, who plays Nora. We've been working very intense together, and we've been like at first going through every scene of the script and everything that she wouldn't understand totally emotionally. I would like either explain to her or rewrite. And then we had like this big process, as I said, of rehearsing where all the relationships came together. And like, for example, with the two sisters, it was very important to me that they really have the feelings that they know each other since they are small. So like I asked them to bring photos like when they've been young, and we talked about the family situation and how they have been as children and stuff. And like if you dig so deep, then you create characters that are like real person, just different layers, you know, because like this sentence, describe your character in one sentence, this is like, I mean, describe your friends in one sentence. That's not possible. We all have different layers. So I think like if you really try to feel the character that you're writing and really try to make it like a real person, then it has to get these different layers, because we're not that simple, everyone. And but like I also like the first thing that I wrote in the script was the scene when Nora and Romy met on the toilet, and Nora just got her period, and Romy took like the pants and washed out the period blood. and out of the pants. And so that was the first scene that I wrote, because I wanted to tell a coming of age film that deals different with those things, like getting your period and stuff, because it's so important for girls. It's such a, like, it can be so frightening, and it's such a like long intensive process to get used to it and to like see your body changing and stuff. So I wanted to very much fixate on those topics too. And then I had the scene, and from that scene on, the main characters developed, because I asked myself, what kind of girl would it be that is on the toilet alone, and then there's coming this other girl washing out her blood, and what kind of character is that, you know? So it was more yeah, but very intuitive work, I would say, like from the first scene to the last. So yeah.
And yeah, and I want to say that the scene is very realistic. It's not hiding how much it's disgusting, how much it could be painful and not easy, and not the movie not trying to make things beautiful when it's hard. And and a lot of movies for young people, for youth, or for audience generally these days, they trying to hide, it's our topic, but it's look good, and they trying to hide the visually. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I really didn't want to do. And I've seen it so often that a girl gets her period like in a coming of age film, and then you have like this pretty little, dot, like cute little dot of blood in the pants, and it's looking so aesthetic, and and that's so not how it is. And yeah, I think it's important to show it in another way.
So I want to ask you, what was the most challenging scene to shoot in the movie for you?
Well, there were two elements. I found the scenes where like the school scenes pretty challenging, because we had very, very limited time, and then like creating something that feels natural and not staged, because we all saw so many scenes in schools, and it always like looks so staged, and I didn't want that. I wanted to be very realistic and very energetic, and but at the same time we had like, I don't know, sometimes just half an hour for shooting the whole scene or something. Yeah, so it was crazy, and I was really sweating, and yeah, that was very challenging. And then also the masturbation scene when she starts to cry, that was, I think, the most challenging for the actress of Nora, Leonie Krippendorff. And then also it's challenging for me, because I'm very close to my actors. And yeah, that was, I think, very, very unusual for her to, like, I think she was a bit afraid of that. And I wanted to give her security, but then I also like know that it is such an intimate thing to do in front of a camera, and then to start to cry and everything, like that's like very high level acting that she gave me there, as so I'm always very proud when I see the scene, because yeah.
And what was the most enjoyable scene to shoot?
The most enjoyable, I think,
Like,
the scenes, the love scenes on the lake. That was the most beautiful day. Like, because it was such a great chemistry between the two girls, and it was so like tender everything, and it was a beautiful thing to shoot, like with a smaller team, and we all, like, it was such incredible hot summer in Berlin, and Berlin is not a town where you might know, where like having like a big heat there is different than in other places, because like we don't have things like air conditioning or something like.
I know.
Yes,
I
so
had
it's
the experience.
so it's very challenging, and we have been like in this small rooms, small flats at Cottbusser having over 40 degrees like inside, and it was really for the body like so exhausting. And then, you know, like having this day on the lake with a small team, and you know, with the water and stuff, that was very beautiful.
And I want to ask this butterflies.
Yeah.
in the leg one, and in the end of the movie, you know,
Yes.
they are good players. They are good actors.
Yes, they are. I don't know, these animals, like, they are naturals. I don't know. They really. I mean, it took a while, because they kind of. You think that if you have them on your hand, that they fly away, but the opposite. They don't want to fly away anymore. So we had to wait sometimes for a quite long time till the butterfly wanted to fly away. But they are very, I don't know, like so fascinating animals, and it was pleasure to shoot with them, because they really did somehow what you wanted to do them. So yeah.
Can I ask about the character of the mother?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can type her as an alcoholic woman and she neglected her kids, but she's not. Like, I felt that she's much more than that, because she have a past, and you can feel it. And, you know, she talking about that, and Noah taking the costume.
Yeah.
And the actresses don't have a lot of scenes, but I had a strong emotion to the mother, you know. Could you tell us about how you build these characters, and the character of the mother? Yeah. And maybe other people that hearing us know this actress, but I don't know. So can you tell us a little bit about her and how you select the actress?
Yeah, so I think what was very, very important to me was that that it's not this social drama, like this alcoholic mother that doesn't take care of her kids. It's more like it's a woman that is longing for freedom very much, and maybe there was a point in her life when she kind of gave up and found freedom more in alcohol than in other things, but it's still the same emotion that she's looking for. And she also wants to like give her daughters a big amount of freedom, so that they can develop their characters. And sometimes then the daughters feel lost, and they wish to have like a stronger family life or whatever. But I think it was interesting for me, because I think, like being an alcoholic always is so like such a taboo, and it's so negative and stuff. But like if you really look behind it, it's very much about trying to find something that you can't find in daily life, and being like in another state, and like feeling free and stuff. And so I didn't want to judge her. And yeah, and that was very important, I think, always, that we thought, okay, of course, she's maybe not the best mother as you have it in the book, you know, but she gives her daughters other things, and I think the two girls will develop being like very, very independent, complex personalities. Yeah.
And I want to ask about Nora, because although she's growing up through the movie and discover herself, she's very mature and very grown up. You know, she understands, I think, even more than her older sister, the situation they are living in.
Yeah.
She understands immediately why her sister wanted the baby. You know, yeah. She didn't need to hear it. She knew already why. So yeah. It's very interesting character, because she is still a kid. She's 14. She's just starting to discover her own soul, you know, her own body, her own emotions. In the same time, she know, you know, from life,
yeah,
stuff that even grown-up people taking them time to understand, you know. Yes. So for me, it's such a great, amazing character. Could you tell me about that?
Yes, I think that you know, like there's always this thing about teenagers, like that they act in a certain way, and they, you know, like would be, you kind of wouldn't trust them to have a personality like Nora has already, because you think they're too young and they're too much in puberty and stuff. But I met so many people who are like that, who are very smart and very sensible and very, like, have a very wide view on life. And so I thought, of course she's still young, but I think there's a certain point where you develop your personality, and, you know, basically you don't change so much. Of course, you're getting older and more mature and stuff, but I don't feel being a totally other person than I was when I was 16. I basically had the same feelings, the same thoughts, the same observations, and also the same sensibility for other people around me. And of course, everything develops and sharpens and stuff. But I think I knew already quite well what I can and what I can't, and what I think and what I don't think, and what I feel and what I don't feel. So that was my main thought about Nora, that she actually, you know, like in this summer finds herself that much that she will not change so much afterwards anymore, although, you know, she gets older and more mature. Yeah.
Okay, and I want to ask the last question, and David Bowie, the scene, you know, it's such a beautiful scene, because I think over there's the turning point of Nora, that she have this.
Yes.
I want her. I want this girl, you know, and it's such a. And the scene before, you know, when she's talking about reading the poem. Yes. Could you tell me how you thought about these ideas, and to create this scene when this is like they need to tell their emotion, but, you know, in abstract way, you know? I thought, well, I never saw something like this in a movie. So,
yeah, no, I thought that it would be, it's also the other way around. It's not just Nora that sees Romy for the first time, really it's also that Romy sees Nora, because she actually finds it beautiful how Nora's talking about the poem and stuff. So I think they both find each other in a crowd of other young people who doesn't take this so serious and who make jokes about what they have to do and the abstract presentation, and you know, and I think it was just lovely that they try to show each other in a creative way without words, and yeah, just created something that somehow fits to them and fits to their personalities. And yeah. So thank you that you saw it that way.
Do we open it to questions? If someone have a question, I don't know how because it's my first time using this. There is people over here. This is my boyfriend, and he's more expert than me on Zooms. Because, so if there is someone that want to ask question, let us know. I must say there is one of my favorite film critics in Israel is over here watching us.
Wow.
Hopefully, Libergal, hello. Thank you for joining us. He's really amazing film critic. So, okay. I want, where is the chat?
No. Okay.
No. So, yeah. So now you saw my boyfriend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope we will meet again, and I hope we could bring you to Tel Aviv one day after this pandemic situation. Enjoy the small village quiet in Italy.
Thank you.
And I'm waiting to your next movie. So
I'll send it to you.
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.